welcome back to the OG Fantasy Football Podcast. It's a brand new season, brand new rosters, brand new hope as we delve into another year of this beautiful, beautiful distraction from the horrors of reality called fantasy football. I'm your host, Brian Dunkleman, along with my co-host, entering our third season. He's my lifelong friend, and he is also the founder of our fantasy football league, touchdown only distance scoring, entering its 35th season. Oh my God, it's John Ainsworth Burrell III. Johnny, how excited are you for a brand new season of football?
What up, Dunk? I am so excited. I can't believe, I don't know how it became September, but here we are, and let's go.
Can't wait. And we got a bonus Friday night game. We got football on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday, just as God intended it. Johnny, I'm very excited. It's not only a brand new fantasy football season, but we're also Bills homers. I put my flag back up in the window, my Bills flag. I took it down as soon as Bass missed that kick, and I haven't thought about him since, well, until the draft. And now I'm just as giddy as a schoolgirl, and I can't wait for another amazing season. We just had our draft the other day. Let's give people a little bit of a refresher course on how we do our league. It is touchdown only. Now, this goes back to what, 35 years, John. That's the Coral anniversary. I didn't get you a gift yet, but look for that in the mail. Well, it is Coral.
Hey, Coral's going extinct. We really shouldn't be passing it around, you know.
Let's not mess with the Coral. So 35 years. This is also, some have referred to it as the Miller Lite Scoring League, where it's distance scoring. So the short touchdown is 6 points. Then between 10 yards and 39 yards, it's 9 points. And a 40-yarder or longer is 12. Now, if you have an out-of-position score, a quarterback running, a running back catching, a wide receiver running, those points are doubled. So the coveted 24-pointer is as much as you can score on one play. And it's not head-to-head. It's just total points. You can come back from so far behind in this league in just a matter of weeks. It's not about wins and losses. It's just about who's the last man standing at the end of the year. Johnny, we got a website, ogfantasyfootball.com. The scoring system is there. I've done absolutely nothing to it over the last year. I'm busy. John, you're busy. Right. We've got children. Your child just started kindergarten.
She sure did. And I just wanted to mention about our distance scoring league that you said it was not head-to-head.
Correct.
Well, we've had the winner determined in the last game of the season, in the last score of the year. So while you're bummed out because you got beat in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, dude, you're always in it. You're in it to win it. And I would not have been in it. But last year, you traded me, Kyron Williams, and Mostert for Patrick Mahomes. You're dead to me, Mahomes. I'll never draft you again. I can't wait to shit on you all year.
I was just looking at the recap of how that trade went for our last podcast.
Boy, all to get me. I believe that I come in fourth place just out of the money, so it made no difference whatsoever. But it feels better to come in fourth than it does ninth, which I would have been. So, Johnny, I really appreciate that little help. We had our draft, and our dear sweet friend, Ken Way of the Ass Kickers, came down from the Bay Area to draft with me, I think the third year in a row. It's always so much more fun when one of your buddies is sitting right next to you. And Kenny said at least a half a dozen times, one of the most fun drafts we've had in a long time, Johnny.
No, it was a good draft. There were no hiccups, no glitches. No, we need to back this pick out, and went very smoothly.
After 35 seasons, we're finally getting this shit down. I do believe our longest draft, this was a little over 2 hours. We slowed it down. We did not put any time restraints on. Usually, you put a little time limit on, but it was going by too fast. We had 7 guys on a Zoom. So it was like we were all together, and we wanted to stretch out the fun. But Johnny, I couldn't be happier. There's only one thing. I got sniped once by our friend Steve Lumpy Kears, who won't show his face. Does he get on the Zoom? No. Steve Lumpy Kears, this is going to come home to roost someday because we haven't seen. When's the last time you saw him? I think I've seen his wife before I've seen him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd come to Houston, Kears. Come on. Let's
That's
go.
right. We're going to go to another Bills game in Houston. We'll talk about that a little later. He did snipe me one pick behind. Let's just go right through the first round. Johnny, what do you say?
Roach sniped me twice, by the way. But
Did he
that's
really?
we'll get there. Yeah.
We will get
Okay,
there.
draft results. I'm pulling them
Now
up.
we
Let's
now
talk.
Johnny, we do this old school. You know, you may have your random number generator. No, we don't. I don't trust a robot to do my draft order. It's names out of a hat. Your daughter picked them. She was not kind to me,
She
although
was not.
sweet number 11. 11s are very, very prevalent in my life. My son was born on the 11th. My girlfriend was born on the 11th. My mother died on the 11th. It goes on and on. But I was
Spinal
pretty
Tap
happy
turns up their amp to 11.
all the way up to 11. And you know what? I did make the comment. I would rather have the 11th pick than the fourth pick because our league is very quarterback heavy. And that means the golden boy, the chosen one, the king of fantasy in the big league chew league is our dear sweet Josh Allen. And he goes number one every year, unless you're Stanley Ullman and you take and you take Jonathan Taylor the year that he got hurt. But Josh Allen went number one to the ass kickers. No surprise there. I do believe there is, you know, it says how long each pick took. There's no time
There's
elapsed.
no time on
No
there.
time, less than 1 second. He picked Josh Allen. I'll take us through the first five, and then why don't you take it from there, Johnny, because that's going to come to your pick. Number two, no surprise here. Well, you know what? You could have gone Christian McCaffrey, who's probably going to be the first quarterback selected in most of your drafts. But Jalen Hurts, courtesy of the tush push, we'll see now that the less famous Kelsey is gone, if that's affected at all. But Jalen Hurts, no surprise in the second to Jeff Gully, the meltdowns, leaving a very, very happy Coleman Roach with the prodigal comes home, snagging McCaffrey. A lot of people have injury concerns. You know what? You can't play fantasy that way. You draft the best guy. He's the best running back. And then maybe your first surprise, the deadhead, Stanley Ullman, forgot that Saquon Barkley no longer plays for his Homer New York Giants. He's with the hated rival Philly Eagles. But Barkley there, Johnny, that was a bit of a surprise. I was considering taking him just because when I broke the record for this league, I do believe it was in 18. My team name was I'm Just Mad About Saquon. And I was thinking about reliving that magic, but we didn't have to worry about it because he went fourth. And that left you, I'm sure, very happy to select Breece Hall. Talk about your selection, Johnny.
So, first of all, let's back up and talk about Coleman's selection of Christian McCaffrey. Why did it take him 1 minute and 4 seconds to make that decision?
Exactly.
And if you look down and track Coleman, he was very thoughtful and pondered shit a lot. I'm not sure why, but anyways,
I think the bourbon had something to do with it.
it may have. I was ecstatic that Stanley took Saquon, which opened up Breece Hall for me. I don't want a Jet. I don't want anybody in the AFC East that isn't a Bill, but sometimes you got to win. Just win,
play.
baby.
We're playing for money here. We're playing for money.
Right.
So you got to take the biases and throw them right out the window. See, the thing about Barkley, the concern is Jalen Hurts is mark him down for 10 rushing touchdowns. I believe he's done it almost every year, at least
Barkley
the last
isn't
two.
getting any inside the 5.
I don't think he is either. And you know what? Look at last year, Swift did not catch that many. He didn't. I don't know if he caught any touchdown passes, but that's really what you're looking for in this league. And Barkley, who Stanley traded me last year, Johnny, at the end of last year, my team, I had Barkley, Kyron Williams, Mostert via your trade, and then I had Derrick Henry on my bench, an embarrassment of riches. So we'll see if it works out. Everybody's predicting Saquon's going to have a monster year. We'll see how it works out in our league. Take us down through the rest of the first round, Johnny.
So we were running back heavy, which is typical of our league. After the top couple quarterbacks go, everybody's looking for running backs. So Bijan Robinson went to Justin with Here Comes Debo. And that was, certainly a solid pick. Took him 13 seconds to do. Tom Lizotte went with Jahmyr Gibbs. And then the first wideout came off the board with, of course, Debo. Debo Samuel went to Tom Dunkelman, of the Omaha Steak, and that led to a mini wide receiver run. That run
Yes.
included CD Lamb coming off next with Carl Northrup and Mansfield Mob, and Tyreek Hill going to the aforementioned, completely absent in our lives, Stephen Kears of the South Bomb.
Oh, lump. All we got. Oh, you're just a memory, Lumpy. You're just a memory. That took him a minute, 20 seconds, by the way. And you know what, Johnny? I was very happy because I thought, here was my strategy. Now, Deebo Samuel, in your league, you're probably looking at a third, fourth, maybe fifth round pick. But in our league, remember those out of position scoring. So when he runs the ball in, those are double points. He did not have a great year 2 years ago, but the year before that, he had a monster year and another monster year last year. And surprisingly, I do believe those last couple of years, he's gone in the third round. And so Justin has not changed his name from Here Comes Deebo. I don't know if he's going to keep that name now that he does not have Deebo. We kept him in the family. He gave him to his uncle. But what I really was happy about was that CD Lamb signed right before our draft. So I had a strategy. I'm going to take Deebo or Tyreek Hill if they fall to me. I was not going to take Lamb. And then I had about 4 running backs. So I thought, if I'm going to get 2 out of these 4 if I don't snag that wide receiver. So I was looking at Jonathan Taylor, who I did take. And then I held my breath because the one I really wanted, Johnny, I wanted Derrick Henry this year. So I was thinking, take Taylor. I'm very lucky that he fell all the way. I've seen him have 150 points. It's been a couple years, but he's had some injuries. And now that Zach Moss is gone, I think there's nobody behind him. So I was holding my breath that Derrick Henry would be there. But I thought between Taylor, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, and Gibbs. Now, Gibbs went a little bit early, but that's because Tommy drafted him last year, I believe, in the second or third round and wanted him again. So some young guy, thank you, Bob. He takes Anthony Richardson and, for some reason, Isaiah Pacheco. Oh, I was so happy. How long did it take me to take Derrick Henry in the second round, Johnny?
6 seconds.
6 seconds. I had to high five Kenny first, and then I hit draft. Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry start. Oh, my God.
You need to change your name, new team name for Brian Dunkleman. 6 points and a cloud of dust.
I like it. 6-point Sallies I'm throwing around. I'm workshopping it. The season hasn't started yet. And then we got, the Southpaws go wide receiver, which is an interesting strategy when you're in a running back heavy league. He takes Amon, Artie Ramadan, St. Brown. Great for PPR.
Artie, if you're out there watching, salute, brother. Been a while.
Shouts out to Artie. West Valley. Who are you rooting for? West Valley. Then we got another inexplicable move here. Justin Jefferson. Sexy pick. He's always the top of the list in regular fantasy. Other than the fact that he doesn't get in the end zone. He is not, I don't believe he's at double digits yet. Kenny took him at the 11-12 turn, or the 12-13 turn last year. Mansfield Mob takes him with the 4th pick of the second round. And then Omaha Steaks gets probably, arguably one of the best running backs left with Travis Etienne. And then Lizot with a nice, formidable start. Josh Jacobs. What do you think about Josh Jacobs this year? We know that Dylan is gone for the year. Doesn't have a whole lot of competition in that backfield, but we saw what running backs Green Bay can do, and I think that's a good landing spot for Josh Jacobs. What do you think, Johnny?
A very different kind of running back, different style than Green Bay's had.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting to see how it fits into the offensive play calling. But I think he'll have a great year. I bet he has 9 to 11 rushing touchdowns. I don't know how much he's going to catch out of the backfield, but
yeah, it's all a matter of those sweet double pointers, because we saw Aaron Jones over the course of his career caught quite a few. I do believe there was a Monday night he had something like 40 points, and I was rolling around on the ground at one point. I do remember that, and by ground I mean floor. I have floors in my apartment. It's not a dirt floor here. I'm doing okay. Not doing great, but I still have a floor and a roof over my head. And then we got Here Comes Deebo with homeboy James Cook. I don't know. I like Ray Davis, looks real good. We'll see what happens with James Cook. He's going to lose so many rushing touchdowns to our sweet Josh Allen. But I don't know.
That was a reach.
I thought so too.
That was a reach, especially when your brother shouted out, "He's not even a Bills fan."
I know. I know it. Is he a Chargers fan? Hey, we all had fun in college, Justin. Let it go. You're not in San Diego anymore. He was at a barbecue taking care of his young child. Took him 56 seconds to take James Cook, who doesn't like having a Bill on their team. Apparently me, because I don't have any. But Johnny, I really believe that helped you a lot because I know there's a lot of speculation about Kyron Williams, but you taking him with the is that the 8th pick of the second round? You had to be happy that he was still there because you got him back after losing him to me.
I was excited. I picked him up last year when he started to crank it up, and I was a big fan. And
Oh, so he wasn't even drafted, was he?
no, he was a free agent. Um, so yeah, I was ecstatic that he was around. I don't remember what I was dwelling on or thinking about that it took me over a minute to pick him, but I'm very happy with my first two picks and having Brees Hall and Kyron as my top back.
Yeah, that's a very, very good start. Another running back start. That's usually what I do unless there's a quarterback. But, you really have to compete. The whole strategy in this league is because Josh Allen and Hurts are so head and shoulders above the rest. And then you're going to have three that are unpredictable that'll have good years. That's basically what it is. But you have to make up the point differential with the other positions. That's what I think. I thought long and hard about taking Anthony Richardson, but I thought I've got to make up for that advantage that the number one pick with Josh Allen has. I love my running backs. I hope they have 25, 36 pointers between them. Derrick Henry's going to throw one. Oh, I think he's going to throw one against the Chiefs. I'm excited.
Anthony Richardson's likely to be among 12 quarterbacks that are within 15 points of each other at like 250 points, which means you could have picked him in the first round or you could have picked some other dude in the fourth round.
Exactly. And when I did my pre-draft analysis, which I saw 11 quarterbacks that I would be very comfortable with. I knew I wasn't going to get one of the top two. I saw 11, and then it's just I don't want to end up with that 12th. I would not have been happy. So we'll get to that later. But Anthony Richardson could have a monster year. He could play 3 games again. Who knows? Good luck, some young guy, if that is your real name. And then God bless Stanley Ullman. I do believe he followed up this 40-second long thought process to draft who? Jaden Reed. I have no idea who this is. Well, thanks for doing your draft prep, Stanley, because we appreciate a guy that should not have gone until at least round 5 or 6 in this league. We thank you for taking him so early in the second. Prodigal comes home. Nice compliment. Who knows what Joe Mixon with that offense, he goes from a great offense to a maybe just as great offense in Houston. We'll see. Took him almost 2 minutes.
We'll see in October.
Yeah, we definitely will. And then the meltdowns, Jeff Golly takes Mostert. I thought Mostert might go in the first round because he had a monster year in our league. I believe 170 something. That's rarefied air there. So he takes Raheem. And then, because I was sitting right next to Kenny. Back-to-back Dolphins, because if Mostert would have been there, confirmed Kenny would have followed my strategy from, I'm going to say 99, maybe 1998. We'll have to look this up. We'll get our crack research staff on it. When I took Ernest Biner and Keith Byers.
Yes.
They were both Miami Dolphins. They were both catching a touchdown every game.
Dude.
And I had them both.
You're old.
I'm so old. Oh, but I'm young at heart. Mostert and A-Chain he would have had, but Golly sniped him right before. So he took A-Chain and a controversial Jamar Chase, who I just heard today showed up to practice wearing a uniform. So that's really a pretty good steal right there with Jamar Chase coming back in the 2-3 turn. And then, you know what? This league is all about nostalgia. It's hard to let go. It's hard to let go of the past. Austin Eckler? Are you kidding me? 2 years ago, the leading running back. 3 years ago, the leading running back. He's been the leading running back. He's probably, Johnny, maybe the closest thing we've had to a modern day Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
I do believe he was. It's very rare for a running back to repeat and be the number one point getter in this league. But Austin Eckler, maybe a little early. I would have looked at him. Goes in the second pick of the third round. followed by Prodigal, solid pick, Mike Evans. All he does is go for 1,000 yards and
It took
double-digit
him 3
touchdowns.
minutes and 15 seconds.
I think he was on his third bourbon. That's why. We'll see if there's a trend. It's getting longer and longer. So Mike Evans, I think he's got another season left in him. And Marvin Harrison.
The first rookie off the board.
We're so old. I think we drafted Marvin Harrison Sr. when he was a rookie.
Pretty sure we did.
So we'll see. A bright future ahead for that kid. I don't watch college football. I just am not into it. So I don't know anything about these guys, but I know the pedigree. And I just hope that he does not have a good first game, because that's against our beloved Bills. Shit suckers. Talk about pick 5 in the 3rd round. 1 minute and 11 seconds. The number of angels means you're on the right track.
So I knew round 3, if I passed on a quarterback and waited till I came back down the other side of round 4, things would look bad. And I was not willing to do that. I needed a cue. It's tough. I want a name guy. I want a proven guy. Jordan Love has had 1 good year, 1 year, and it was tough. But I was like, hell, well, let's go, Jordan.
I think it's a good. I think it's a good pick. A lot of leagues you would have thought maybe Lamar Jackson. He had a really great year, and then he started out gangbusters last year, but he just did not score the points that you need to have in this league.
I thought about him.
I did too, and then I thought, I don't want him. He's too inconsistent in this league. So I really like I think I probably would have pulled the trigger on Love as well, but I wasn't ready to take a quarterback yet. Well, let's go down the rest of the 3rd round.
Just to fast forward my thought process. So after I picked Love, no other quarterbacks taken in the 3rd round. But here we go in the 4th. Jaden Daniels picked 2nd in the 4th round.
Well, hold on. We got a bunch. Hold on a second. Let's just go. That's right. I took, what was he? This was a big risk for me. Let's not skip my 3rd round pick though, Johnny, because
I just want to recap my point. I'm going to go back. I just want to say that by the time I got to pick in the 8th pick of the 4th round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks were picked.
Right.
And that's why I decided to pull the trigger on Love in the 3rd.
Love in the 3rd, baby. Love in the 3rd. I had calculated, because I go back through the old drafts and I look at the last few, and I thought I could wait till the beginning of the 6th round, and I may get the 11th, I may get the 12th, and I just did not want that 12th. So finishing out the 3rd round after your Jordan Love, we got AJ Brown. Here comes Deebo, solid pick. Aaron Jones, again, hard to let go. I don't know what's going to go on in Minnesota, but you know what? Aaron Jones, we've seen him have 100 in a few seasons. Here's a bit of a reach. My brother with Jerome Ford. I thought about Jerome Ford, Nick Chubb at my kind of almost turn in the 4 or 5, but that strategy went out the window. And then Mansfield Mob with a reach, Rashid White. And here's the first snipe. Now, Johnny, this was the only thing that I had to complain about my draft, but I will explain that after further analysis, it's a good thing that I did not get Kenneth Walker III, because Steve Lumpy Kears sniped him, and it only took him 24 seconds to do it.
Why is it a good thing?
Well, I'll explain it to you, because I then decided, all right, there's no running back that I want that's, I think, worth it above taking my number 1 wide receiver. And I really like DJ Moore this year, with what's his name throwing to him last year. He had, I do believe, 90 points. He had a great year. He got awarded with a huge contract. I think DJ Moore is going to have a great year. I thought about Cooper Kupp, but again, you got to let go of the pass sometimes. He's had too many injuries. So I chose the younger DJ Moore with the hot young rookie throwing to him, Caleb. So I could have gone Kupp there, but I took DJ Moore. Some young guy takes Kupp, and then Najee Harris. I don't know. I'm not
That
interested in. I'm
I
not
had
interested
him
in any
last. I
Steelers.
had him last year. He was a bum, and
He's
the
terrible.
Steelers. The Steelers are not scoring any points.
No, my beloved, the Steelers were my favorite team when I was a child, and then I grew up and realized that I needed to face the lifetime of disappointment and heartbreak, and just be a Bills fan. And I've never looked back. So this was a stretch for me, and I will admit it. But I took a risk because I think it could be a league winner. I thought about Kyler Murray, but you know what? I had Kyler Murray for the last 5-6 weeks last year. I like to mix it up. I didn't want the same guy that I had at the end of the season. And I took the young Jaden Daniels from the Washington Redskins. Again, never seen him play. I don't watch college, but I can read stats. And when I saw that he ran for 11 touchdowns last year, and I think 9 or 10 the year before that, and the guy's got a cannon, I took Jaden Daniels thinking maybe he's going to have that magical Cam Newton type year when he came in as a rookie. So I like to watch my quarterback play. So we're going to be watching the Redskins, and we'll get to more of them later because I got a few of them on my
The
team.
Commanders.
And then my brother screamed out, yeah, you could have gotten him in the 9th. I don't think so. I don't think he would have been available to me coming back down in the next round. I just don't, because that's like 20 picks before I pick again. And I did not want to take the chance. So maybe I stretch there. But Southpaws immediately then after me takes Kyler Murray. And by the way, Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury is running that offense. Who benefited from that? Kyler Murray. I'm hoping for the same thing to happen there. And we got Mansfield Mob with Alvin Kamara, who we all remember 2 years ago when I was penciled in Derrick Henry. I had thought about it. I was going to draft him every day for 3 months. As soon as I found out the order, I'm like, I'm freaking Derrick Henry. And like an hour before, I don't know why, I switched it to Kamara. And we know that was a terrible move. I would have won the league if I hadn't switched that. So Kamara, then James Conner, and then Patrick Mahomes. Oh, you're worthless. You ketchup on your steak eating freak. Leeside even said, somebody please take Mahomes so I don't have to take him.
Yes, he did say that.
He did say that, and then he took him anywhere. He passed on Lamar Jackson, who went next to here comes Debo. And then, Johnny, here's a wide receiver that you took that I could have actually taken with my pick in the 3rd round or the 4th round. I think he's going to have a monster year, Mr. DK Metcalf.
Round 4, I knew I needed to get a wideout. I got 2 running backs, a quarterback. Got to get the best wideout on the board. And I looked around, and obviously it took me a little bit of time, 1 minute and 35 seconds to make the pick. But I'm pretty fired up. I had DK 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, solid 4th round pick.
Yeah, and I think they got new coaching staff there. I think that he's going to have a lot more opportunities for touchdowns. We'll see, because that's all we care about. I think he's going to have a really good year. I would have liked to paired him with DJ Moore, but I knew there's no way he'd come around. And I you know what I could have done? I could have gone DJ Moore Metcalf, but I just didn't want to wait on quarterback. Caleb Williams.
Running out of time, by the way.
Oh, great. We'll just start it again.
Yeah, we got 9:44 left. Just to let
well, great. We'll only go through maybe another round or two, and then we'll take a look at our lineups, and then we'll call it podcast number 1. We've had technical difficulties. We tried last night. It's all my fault. My computer. Oh, listen. I told Johnny if this was 2002, I'd have every state-of-the-art piece of equipment that did not exist yet. But we are where we are.
Genesis, though, damn it.
We are where we are. Caleb Williams goes early. I thought about maybe snagging him. He would not have been available. Then Joe Burrow, followed by DeAndre Swift. Kenny gets another couple nice picks here with David Montgomery and Garrett Wilson. Travis Kelce goes too early. There goes the tight end run. We don't use tight ends because we've been doing this for so long that Antonio Gates was the only one worth having. And after 3 years of that crap, we said, this is stupid. Fuck tight ends. They're all just receivers now. He was so happy 9 seconds he took. And then Prodigal, I think on his 4th bourbon, took another 3 minutes and said, oh, after all this consideration, give me the tight end Mark Andrews. No explanation. And then let's just go through our picks for the rest of it. You I would have liked to have this guy. I got a lot of hope for young Keon Coleman that you take in the 5th round. Maybe a stretch, but this is a Bills league. We love our Bills.
I debated. I wanted a wideout. I wanted him.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take him in the 5th round, but he wasn't going to be available coming back down the 6th.
No, I think I would have taken him.
And I thought, I just want to have joy in my life. I want to roll the dice, and I want to root for this man because he is the real deal. And I don't even mean as a receiver. I mean as a human being. And I like good human beings on my team.
I love this kid. The Bills draft quality character human beings, which leads us into our next pick. Bye, Stefan. Go complain about your targets to somebody. You know, I don't think anybody's going to bitch about targets. Hey, Josh, go through your progressions and throw it to the open guy. And you said, who's going to have double-digit touchdowns for the Bills? And I said, I hope Coleman has 15. I really do. I hope Keon has 15 touchdowns, and then there's another 3 or 4 guys with 7 or 8. That would make me really happy. Now let's go down to my pick. I could not believe this. This is the pick. We could look back on this as being the pick of the draft. In the bottom of the 5th round, Davante Adams is still there.
I picked him in the 1st round like 3 years ago.
I know it. Yeah, he's not dead. He's not happy with his quarterback situation, and there's talk of a trade at some point this season. That won't upset me. But my God, Davante Adams paired with DJ Moore, I continue to be thrilled. Other than Lumpy, and we'll get to it in a minute because that was my only player that I wanted that I didn't get. And to have the 11 spot and not get sniped once, I think I'm going to send a thank you card to some young guy. He takes Rico Dowdle and Xavier Worthy. All this talent left. He goes with those 2. Rico. Who? Uncle Rico. Better throw this football over that mountain. Shouts out to brother Jim. So he takes those 2, and that leaves me with buttshot Brian Robinson Jr. He was the best running back left, in my opinion. So that's why I took him. Now, Johnny, I'm going to give you this. This is how deep a post-analysis I do. If I would have passed on my quarterback in the 4th round, and if I would have gotten Kenneth Walker Jr., it's not Jr., that's his father. It's Kenneth Walker the 3rd. I would have ended up the only quarterback left who I did end up getting as my backup, Dak Prescott. I did not have Dak outside of the top 11. I had him in there. So, Johnny, he would have ended up, if I would have waited on quarterback, I would have had Dak as my starter and then some crappy, maybe Jared Goff is my backup. But instead, I got this promising young kid and Dak Prescott as insurance. And as Coleman said, are you just going to be pulling your hair out every week deciding? No, I'm going with the young kid. I'll pull my hair out after Dak lays 40 burgers. That's how that works. So I couldn't have been happier with my draft, Johnny. I let's just go. Why don't you go through your picks for the rest, and then I'll go through my picks, and then we'll take a look at our lineups for the week.
Oh, why don't we look at the overall roster grid? I mean, I don't need to bore people with my late round picks. Let's just take a look at. I did not do the odds this year. I've done every year. I've done.
What are you doing? You got till kickoff. Kickoff, man.
I still could. I'm busy.
Can I just say I want to go a little bit further down and say that I had a really good. I was pretty happy about in the 9th and 10th, end of the 9th, beginning of the 10th. I snagged Terry McLaurin and Amari Cooper. Does that happen in your leagues? I don't think so. I think McLaurin's going to have a big year. So now let's go to the roster grids, Johnny.
So, I think Roach, obviously, Coleman had a great first pick with McCaffrey. He's got Joe Burrow. He's got Mixon, Dobbins. He's got some names, Evans. I think Coleman looks good. And that Mark Andrews pick was stupid, but beyond that,
picking any tight end is stupid. Let's face it. Look, Josh Allen, when you have Josh Allen in this league, you're in it. And you're probably in it till the end of the season. And I think Kenny had a very solid draft. He's got Ashane, whatever his name is, Montgomery, Pollard. Pollard could have a very nice year. And then he's got Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, and Olave. I think kudos to you, my friend Kenway. And I can't believe I just said kudos, but we don't edit. It's staying in. I just want to go through this is my line. This is my roster here. I like to go running back heavy. I got Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson Jr. Those are the three I'm going to start. I got Brooks. I picked up the kid from Carolina, put him right in my IR slot. And then when the waivers went through, I said, I'm going to go and pick up young Samjay Pirine because he smells an awful lot like McKinnon last year or 2 years ago when he caught about 11 touchdowns. And if Pachenko goes down, that could be a gold mine. And then I picked up Justice Hill to back up Derrick Henry. DJ Moore, Devontae Adams. I love those two wide receivers. I usually don't start three, but if I did, I'd throw in Terry McLaurin. So when I say I'm going to be watching the Redskins, and yeah, I call them the Redskins. I don't care. Cancel me. I already got canceled in 2002. You can't cancel me twice. That's double jeopardy. I was pre-law. So I've got Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson Jr., and Terry McLaurin.
An episode of Law and Order I missed?
Wait, did I say I auditioned to play a lawyer on television? Did I get the part? That's not important. That's not important. So I feel really good. And by the way, I got your old boy, Jumbo Elliott, as my kicker, who I get to watch. I'm so happy I get to watch Derrick Henry on the opening night.
Was the first kicker off the table.
I know. And Aubrey was his name. Good luck. It was a wonderful love affair last year, Aubrey. I hope you completely come down to earth now that you're scoring points for someone else. And I got the Cowboys again. What are you kidding me? In like one of the last rounds. I'll take them. They've led the league 2 years in a row. Johnny, tell us about your roster, and then we'll do lineups. How are we doing on time?
We have got 1 minute and 25 seconds left.
You know what? Let me do a quick word and thank our sponsor, White Claw Surge. Hey, are you tired of your friends calling you a pussy because you like to drink White Claw? Why not try White Claw Surge? With the extra 3%, you'll almost feel like a real man. White Claw Surge, it's technically alcohol. Johnny, I am so excited that we're doing the podcast again. It didn't look good last night, but we just keep trying and we figured it out. I'm sorry if the sound is a little bad. We got the first game tonight. We're going to do some promos. I'm very excited for another Bill season. I'm very excited to be talking fantasy all season long with my best buddy. Final thoughts on your end before we call it a night.
Can't believe kickoff tonight. We will have football. I'm excited. I can't wait. And seeing that, what's his name from Good Morning Football today, our Bills homer guy, donned the Allen jersey to say MVP. Got me a little fired up.
This is the year, baby. They're all counting us out. They don't even think they're going to win the East. This is our year. Thanks for coming back and joining us. Check out the website. For John Burrell, I'm Brian Dunkleman saying we'll see you next time.